Thank you, Presiding Officer. I'm grateful for the opportunity to participate in this afternoon's debate, and I think I would just like to join colleagues in beginning by sincerely thanking teachers, staff and all educational professionals within my constituency of Renfrewshire South who have been absolutely magnificent over the past 6 months. They really are amongst the best of us, and their selfless dedication to ensuring that young people in my constituency have been continuously provided with learning opportunities. There's no way I can express my gratitude enough. So I want to give my sincere thanks. And I also want to thank them for their professionalism and the expeditious way in which they responded to people's concerns when the exam results were announced last month. And I'm very grateful to all of the head teachers and the education directors and other teachers and pupils and parents for the opportunity to engage with them directly following the exam results to hear about the particular issues and challenges that they were facing. And I'm very grateful for them for making that time. I've had the opportunity since I was elected to the Scottish Parliament to visit all of the schools in my constituency, and I've done so at many schools on multiple occasions. And I have to say that I'm always astounded by the level of professionalism and the level of enthusiasm that exists amongst our teaching staff. And I say that because I recognise that we obviously have a duty to debate education within this Parliament, but I know from many of the conversations that I have had that some of the political rhetoric around education can be quite demoralising for staff. Whatever our intents and purpose may be, it does have effect. People do listen and people do pay attention. So I think we have a duty in having these debates to make sure we always do so in a way that is respectful and recognises the work that goes on within our schools. And I think one of the key pieces of work that is going on is attempting to close the attainment gap. And as others have pointed out, and the Conservative motion fails to point out, it is the poverty-related attainment gap. Because, as Mr Whittle may have said, that education is a fully devolved portfolio, but the social determinants of inequality and the policy levers to address inequality are not the exclusive preserve of this Parliament. They are a split competency. And as many have recognised, many of the policy drivers of inequality and poverty emanate from decisions taken by the UK Government over the past 10 years. Decisions on welfare and social security spending. And that is something that has been recognised by many third sector partners and indeed by the United Nations. So what action is this Government taking to address poverty? Well, there is the Attainment Challenge Fund. One of the local authorities within my constituency, Renfrewshire Council, is an Attainment Challenge Fund. And of course, there's the Pupil Equity Fund. Millions of pounds going directly into schools in my constituency. And I know I've seen firsthand the variety of ways in which that resource has been deployed by teachers and the difference it is making and the impact it is having. There is also the investment within the school estate, a new Barrhead High School, the new St Thomas's Neilson Primary Campus that will soon be under construction, and the commitment to a new Thorn Primary in Johnston, all making an impact, a positive impact, providing safe, secure, warm environments in which our pupils can be educated. But it's not just about the money that goes into our schools, it's far wider than that. And that's why the impact that will be felt using the limited powers over social security we have in this place will be profound and transformative. The Scottish Child Payment, which will begin payments next year for under 6-year-olds, will be transformative. Combined with the Best Start grant and Best Start Foods, this will provide up to over £5,000 of financial support for families by the time their first child turns 6. For second and subsequent children, that will provide £4,900. The Scottish Child Payment will affect positively 3,700 children in East Renfrewshire and 6,300 children in Renfrewshire. And the Scottish Fiscal Commission estimates that 194,000 children aged under 6 will be eligible for this across Scotland. And there are other benefits as well that this Parliament is providing. Carers Allowance Supplement, Young Carers Grants, and as well as the Best Start grants. There's also the work in housing. We are seeing in East Renfrewshire and Barrhead in my constituency, the council houses have been built for the first time in a generation. All of that combined will have an impact in reducing poverty and improving the attainment gap. It is not just about what goes on inside our classrooms. I should declare an interest. Before I was in politics, I was a tutor. I was a music tutor. And that 1 hour or that 30 minutes I had with that student was important. But what happened in the intervening week was the most important part. And that is the reality for all educational environments. It's not just what goes on in the classroom, it's what goes on at home. And the Conservatives have to realise that the policy decisions they have taken at Westminster have resulted in an increase in child poverty. I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't have time in my last 30 seconds. And the lack of willingness to acknowledge this, the fact that in moving his motion, Jamie Green could not even bring himself to mention the word poverty. An MSP for the west of Scotland, with all the inherited inequalities that we have from the 18 years of Conservative government, and he can't even bring himself to mention the word poverty when talking about inequality in my constituency. The fact that he comes here to go and lecture this government about the action that we are taking when he voted against budgets year after year, which have delivered pupil equity funding to schools in my constituency, which have delivered money for the Attainment Challenge. You know, it's easy to come here and cut with the rhetoric, Mr. Green. But maybe in future, when we have these budget negotiations in the coming weeks and months, come forward with some constructive proposals, come forward and get engaged, and for once call out the disgraceful actions of your colleagues at Westminster.